So just to summarize, we use PV equals nRT to find pressure, volume, moles, or temperature. When you know, you can find one of those variables when you know the other three. There's no change. When there is a change, you want to use the combined gas law. The combined gas law, technically you could also add moles to the combined gas law, but usually you don't add gas to your, you could do that, but we did that. This is kind of the straightforward combined gas law, but technically book they talk about N1, N2. But usually if you don't add any gas, those drop out and you get the one that we talked about. So for the combined gas law, you have to have a 1 and a 2. You have to have an initial and a final whatever, temperature, pressure, volume.
I have a question.
Okay, go ahead.
So previously when, you know how we got the mass from the previous question?
Yes.
Why didn't we just take the volume from the previous question too?
Well, because the volume changed. When we changed, okay, so actually technically, we had the same gas, but we changed its temperature and its pressure. Can you let me change the color here.
Therefore, the volume would change. Then we have to figure out the volume all over again.
Let me So should we write that? Because T and P changed, then V changed. I guess, we could have done this problem, I suppose. I could have also solved this as an ideal gas, as a combined gas law. We could have plugged in P1, V1, T1, P2, V2, T2, and we could have just skipped the moles, right? So I solved it a different way, but you bring up an interesting point that you could have used the ideal gas law because technically your pressure and temperature changed, right?
Okay, yeah.
But I just said to myself, I said, okay, self, the moles of the gas didn't change, right? We didn't add any gas or take any away. So in this new situation, then I just have moles, pressure, and temperature, and I could use the ideal gas law. So that's kind of interesting. So sometimes they can be interchangeable. I could solve it that way, but let's move on. If you understand the concept, I think I answered your question, right?
Yeah, it's clear now.
Okay, great. Okay, and so our recap was the ideal gas law is to find the fourth property when you know the other three, right? And then there's no change. If there's a change, if there's an initial, final, whatever, pressure, temperature, volume, then you would want to use the combined gas law. So on a test, you're going to want to read the question carefully and say to yourself, okay, self, is there a change or is there no change? If there's no change, ideal, right? When there is a change, use the combined gas law. Yeah. All right. At least of the gas laws that we've learned so far, right? Okay.